I want to be that person to remind you that heartbreak, although it may feel like the worst thing that has ever happened to you at this present moment, this is a temporary feeling. It is not permanent. I know it feels awful, like a pain in the stomach, a pain in the heart, a stab in the back. So many feelings and emotions are going on right now, but I want to encourage you today to let you know that how you feel is temporary, that you are not alone, and that the best is yet to come. Welcome in. My name is Kat. I'm the founder of Thrive with Grace, where we help you navigate your business and your personal lives with grace and grit. And we are here to empower you to let you know that your best self is yet to come. So today we're going to talk about how the storm is not going to last always. This is just encouragement and reminder to you to tell you that the best is yet to come. What you're going through right now is only temporary. It is a means to get you to the place that God has always wanted you to be at. I know you felt like that business was supposed to actually catapult you to the next step, but listen when I tell you, sometimes God will remove things from your life because He can see down the road that that business was not going to get you where you needed to go. Maybe He saw down the road that that business was actually going to fail. You could have gotten in a lawsuit. So many different situations and scenarios that God will move and shift things in our lives to prevent us from being worse off than we are today right now. The same thing with relationships, the same thing with friendships. Often He will shift things around. He will remove people from our lives, people that we thought were supposed to be there for the long run. No, God knows who in fact they are. And also, let me remind you that some people in some situations and different things that happen in your life, those are just lessons. Those are ways to get you to where He wants you to be at. So don't take the relationship so much as a heartbreak, but let's look at it as a lesson. Let's evaluate and see what purpose that person served in our lives, what purpose he or she did, and how they learned and you know, kind of what we learned from the relationship. I had to sit back and evaluate myself in several relationships that I was in to understand, even my divorce, to understand why God had me go through this. Why did I go through this heartache? Why did I go through this pain? And listen, it was to bring me to who I am today. And I can say the exact same thing for you. I realized that it's one of the worst feelings for someone to leave you and to abandon you. You may feel abandoned right now, but God has not abandoned you. He has not forgotten you, and He has certainly not forsaken you. So I don't want you to give up. This message right here, this episode, is to remind you to keep going through that storm. You may feel like there's so much rain and thunder and lightning, and you may feel so defeated and depleted right now, but this is temporary. Storms are meant to continue going through. If you look at a hurricane or tornado, those are moving and flowing things. They don't just sit there and pour down on you, maybe for a few days, but it's just a moment in God's eyes. Maybe the business is not taking off the way you expected it to. Maybe you haven't sold anything the way you expected it to. Maybe you started the business and you had such high hopes, so many wonderful things, so many people you are going to change and be of service to, and no one has purchased that book, no one has purchased that course, no one's walked into your store and purchased any food. But I'm here to encourage you to stay the course and keep the faith, because you never know when that storm is going to pass. And it'll happen just like that. The way that God operates in my life, in your life, He is a God of action, and He sees and He knows Everything that is happening in your life, there is no way he is ever going to forsake you or forget you. He is not a God like that. He is a God of love. I'm reminded of a story some years ago in my early 20s. I think I had like just started college, but I had like a little nest egg, and I had told my father that I was going to purchase a Subway. And my father, he's an entrepreneur, he's a business owner himself, so that naturally it would just be in my blood that I would think, hey, my dad does it, why not me, So my father went with me to meet with this gentleman, and he owned Subways. He had 3 actually that he was looking to sell. And I bring my dad along because he's the only man of business that I know, trust, love. I know he's gonna give it to me straight, whether I want it or not. So I bring my dad, we're sitting there, and as we're leaving, my dad tells me, that's not for you. I thought we had had a great conversation with the man. We go in the Subway, we're meeting with him, all the things, everything's going well and all that. And my dad goes, yeah, you're not gonna get this Subway. And I'm like, well, what did you hear that I heard? I'm trying to argue him down and wondering, I'm over here feeling defeated and just trying to figure out why my father would say, you're not gonna get this Subway. What my father heard that I didn't hear was the fact that this gentleman owned 3 Subways, and they were all of the funds from those Subways were being placed in one business account. Just one. They were not being put separately. And what does that mean? That means that there was no real way to tell which Subway was actually the one bringing in the most revenue. In other words, bringing in the most money. There was no way to tell that. So therefore, my father saw that as a way for me to be manipulated and taken advantage of. Because what if I purchased the Subway that was not making any money? What if I purchased the lemon? You know what a lemon is? A lemon is like the bad egg or the rotten egg, the bad car. If you ever purchased a car and then it's not going down the road, it was great when you were at the car dealership, but then when you drive off a month later, the car's starting to break down. That's the same exact concept. So I would have purchased a lemon Subway had I not listened to my father. So that goes back to my point in saying, you may be disappointed because the business didn't work out, that person left you, you had to leave the relationship, you just don't understand why these things happen. But it may be to protect you from hurt, harm, or danger further down the road. We just never know. But I will tell you, God, our Father, He watches over us. He sees and He knows. He knows what is down the road. So while you're going through this storm, He may be holding you up. He may be pausing you and making you sit there for a second. One, to get you to trust Him even more, to get you to lean on Him. And number 2, it may very well be for your own protection. Now, while you're going through this storm, and we know it's going to pass, there are some steps that I want to encourage you to take as you're processing this situation, whichever one you're in, whether it's business or personal. For me, the 2 work hand in hand. I think that your business relationship affects your personal, and your personal relationship affects your business. That's just how, I feel like the mind operates. I think the 2, sometimes the people say, yes, you should be able to separate the 2 and compartmentalize them. But I think that if you have a healthy personal relationship, it will reflect over into your business and the same therefore. But one of the steps I want you to take is acknowledging the pain. Oftentimes we try our best to suppress that pain that we're feeling inside. And I never really think that is the answer. I don't recommend that you suppress the pain. I think you should acknowledge it. Speak those things out and tell yourself and express yourself to, a therapist, counselor, what have you, anyone that trust and feel will not judge you. Express how you feel. I think that feelings and emotions are very valid from a male as well as a female. and they should be acknowledged and valued. They should not be pushed aside. And if you're in a relationship or a situation where your feelings are not being validated, I think that is definitely another discussion for another episode, because your feelings are and deserve to be valid. Once we have acknowledged our pain, do me a favor, my friend. I want you to shift your focus. I want you to start looking at what is ahead of you, not what was behind. And, I've heard people say, the lessons we learn are from the history, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, we learned our lesson, we evaluated, we've acknowledged our pain, but we need to look towards what is ahead of us. Don't stay stagnant and stuck in the situation that we're in right now. You're in heartbreak, but we're looking forward to the love that is ahead of us. We're looking forward to that next business opportunity that is ahead of us. That's what we want to pay attention to, and that's what we want to look forward to. We want to look forward to the bigger and better. The best parts of our lives are ahead of us. Why continue to look backwards? There is no need for us to do that, because there's nothing there for us. Some people say, oh, let's spin the block and all that. I think that's relative. I think that, there are different scenarios and different cases. Would I spin the block? No, not necessarily, but that is my personal opinion. I think if you're the one who left me, then you're the one who left me. So I feel like you're the one missing out, but that's neither here nor there. But, for me, what I'm saying is let's push forward. Let's press forward to our next best goal. What's the next big thing that's in your life? Are you going to start a podcast? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to start a new business? How else can we better our lives while we're waiting for that next wonderful relationship to come? Are you going to start pouring into yourself, actually get a relationship with yourself? I definitely recommend that you can do that. Are we going to get a better relationship with Jesus, with God, our Father? I recommend that you do that. Either way, we are not going to remain in the same space that we are in. Do not look for the past. The past is behind us, and that is done. Also, let me put another thought in there. Forgive yourself for the past, okay? Shift your focus. Pour more into yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive the other person who did you wrong. And let's move forward and shift our focus towards the future, because I promise you the best is yet to come. So we have acknowledged our pain. We've shifted our focus. Now what I want you to do is one thing that will help your future. One thing that is going to help shift that focus and push you closer towards your future. Whether it is putting together a business plan, going to networking events, going to social events, starting to have actual meetings, one within ourselves, getting in a church, a faith-based church. You need to do those things that are going to equip you for the next best phase of your life. Your future self is going to thank you for the steps that you take towards moving into a better direction for yourself, okay? Whether it's implementing different practices, me, myself, when I was basically going through my divorce, one thing that I added to myself that I wasn't doing before was journaling. That small act impacted my life so significantly, I can't even explain it. But what I do at night, and you can definitely put this into practice yourself, is I pour into my journal. I not only pray and commune with God, but I journal. I journal on a daily basis. And when I tell you it has helped me and allowed me to sleep better, it has truly impacted my life. So just that small act, and I call it an act of kindness for myself, just that small act has allowed me to sleep better. So what are you going to do for your future self? Are you going to go back to school? get another degree? Are you going to go to therapy, get with a counselor, a coach, a life coach? Anything that is going to help better yourself, that is what we are going to do, because the storm is not going to last. The storm is going to pass over. And then who are we going to be once the storm passes over? We need to be our best selves. You are only put on this earth for a small amount of time. Do not squander it, okay? Do not waste time. This feeling that you have right now, I know there's so much pain attached to it, but it is only temporary. And you see how I did this? Do not hold on to that pain. Let it go. Let it go and release it right here, right now, today. I don't care how many times you have to listen to this episode, let it go and release it, because there's so much better in store for you. I promise you that. You will laugh again. You will love again. This feeling right here, it is temporary, my friends. And I promise you that God has not left you and He has not forsaken you. He knows how you feel right now. He knows the feeling of rejection. He knows the feeling of pain. He knows the feeling of abandonment. How you feel right now is not the end. It is just a storm, and it is framing you and molding you into the wonderful being that you were always meant to be. I talked about in another episode, a past episode of mine, how, a diamond has to go through. It's got to be scratched up. It's got to be polished. It's got to be graded down. All of the things, sanded down, all of the things have to be done in order for that true shine to come through. And you, my friend, you are a diamond, and you will be cherished and loved in your next relationship. That business that you have coming forth, it is going to flourish. It is going to enhance your life. You are going to be able to be of service to so many other wonderful people, and you are going to impact so many wonderful lives. I promise you that. So I hope that this episode was a blessing for you. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes like this one, and share it with a friend or family member that needs it. I'll see you in the next one. Be blessed.